In the dead silence of the sky, a man suddenly awakens, gasping for air. His name is Royce. As he opens his eyes, he realizes he's falling, fast, plummeting through the atmosphere with nothing but the rush of wind and a rapidly approaching canopy of trees below. Just seconds before impact, he manages to activate his parachute. He crashes through the jungle trees, hits the ground with a thud and blacks out. Moments later, Royce regains consciousness. Dazed and confused, he looks around. This isn't any jungle he recognizes, and he has no memory of how he got here. The only thing he knows for sure, his weapons are intact, and his instincts are sharp. Suddenly, another figure crashes down nearby. It's a man named Cuchillo, a member of a Mexican drug cartel. He instinctively points his guns at Royce, but before anything escalates, a third person falls from the sky, dead on impact, his parachute never opened. Gunfire erupts nearby. Without hesitation, Royce maneuvers behind the shooter and disables him. The attacker turns out to be Nikolai, a Russian commando. Like Royce and Cuchillo, the last thing he remembers is a blinding light before waking up midair. As they piece their thoughts together, another person appears. Isabel, a sniper from the Israeli Defense Forces. She's disoriented but sharp and reveals she saw more parachutes falling. The jungle, however, is unfamiliar, unmapped. Together, the group decides to search for more survivors, unaware they're already being watched. Hidden in the trees is a silent observer, Hanzo, a quiet Yakuza assassin. Moving deeper into the forest, they come upon two men locked in brutal combat. Stans, a death row inmate, and Mombasa, a guerrilla fighter from Sierra Leone. The tension is broken when they spot the others. Begrudgingly, they join the group, realizing their strength in numbers. Then, someone points to the treetops. Another man's parachute is caught on a branch. It's Edwin, a seemingly harmless doctor. Royce shoots the branch, sending Edwin into the water below. The man surfaces unharmed and shares the same story. He was blinded by a light, then found himself free-falling. As they move forward, Stans begins making crude remarks toward Isabel. She ignores him, but the atmosphere is uneasy. Eventually, the group stumbles upon Hanzo, barefoot and motionless in the mud, staring at a bizarre totem adorned with bones. Mombasa interprets it as a hunter's trophy marker. Whoever did this was collecting kills. Nikolai theorizes it's a military experiment, while Cuchillo suggests it might be a ransom situation. Stans believes it's some twisted test. Someone even wonders if they're already dead, and this is some kind of purgatory. Royce, taking charge, silences the speculations. "Doesn't matter why we're here," he says. "What matters is how we get out." The group trudges on. At one point, Nikolai reaches for a beautiful flower, but Edwin stops him. "It's poisonous," he warns. Paralyzes the body completely. Grateful, Nikolai promises to protect Edwin in return. Later, Isabel crafts a simple compass and places it on water, but it spins endlessly. Meanwhile, Royce points out that the sun hasn't moved since they arrived. Something is off about this place. He starts forming a theory they were chosen. Every single one of them is a trained killer, except the doctor. Isabel quietly asks if Royce was once military. He offers no reply. Soon, they find an ominous cage, covered by a bloodied tarp. When they lift the cover, it's empty. Bloodstains indicate it was used recently. They look up, more cages high in the trees. The message is clear, they're not alone. Suddenly, a trap is sprung. Mombasa trips a wire, and a barrage of deadly jungle mechanisms activate. Spiked logs, falling stakes, and massive bear traps. The group narrowly escapes death. Isabel nearly falls into a pit, but Royce saves her just in time. Using her rifle's scope, Isabel spots a figure, the trap maker, dead and decomposing. Edwin estimates he's been dead for 2 weeks. Nikolai searches the corpse and finds a U.S. Special Forces badge. Royce puts the pieces together. These traps weren't designed for people like them. They were meant to stop something far more dangerous. As they continue, Mombasa senses movement among the trees. He brushes it off, but someone is tracking them. Through infrared vision, the group is being monitored. A voice repeats their words, mimicking them. When they reach the edge of the jungle, they're shocked. The sky is foreign. Strange constellations and unfamiliar planets loom above. They're not on Earth. Royce comes to a chilling conclusion. This entire planet is a hunting ground. Suddenly, a flying drone zips past them. Stans, growing paranoid and angry, demands a gun. Before tensions flare further, snarls echo through the trees. A massive alien beast, dog-like and grotesque, bursts from the foliage. The team opens fire and kills it, but more follow. Without weapons, Edwin and Stans flee. One creature chases Edwin, but Isabel snipes it down. Nikolai and Hanzo handle another, while Royce takes one out with just a knife. Mombasa saves Stans just in time, shooting a beast off him. Isabel is nearly overwhelmed and almost takes her own life, but a whistle pierces the air. The beasts retreat. The group gathers, panting and shaken. They realize the beasts were not hunters, they were hunting dogs. They were being tested, observed, prepared as prey. Suddenly they hear a voice. "Help! Help me! It's Cuchillo." They find him kneeling, bloodied and broken. Isabel steps forward to help, but Royce stops her. "It's a trap." He proves it by tossing a rock. The body doesn't react, it's lifeless. The voice is a recorded lure. Heartbroken, Isabel ends his suffering with a shot, only to hear his voice echo once more. She flees in terror. A hidden predator, cloaked and silent, watches. Royce makes a bold move. He suggests following the alien hound tracks. They may lead straight to the hunter. The group agrees and stumbles across a grotesque camp. Skulls and bones litter the ground, trophies of past hunts. At the center, they find a predator, chained and alive. Isabel reacts strangely, as if she knows the creature. Nikolai pokes it, triggering a furious roar. She urges them to leave immediately. But before they can, spears fly from the trees. Mombasa is impaled. Suddenly, the jungle erupts with gunfire. Royce had been waiting in the shadows. The attacker is a predator, cloaked and armed. The team fights back, and bullets rain down. Explosions follow as the alien unleashes its advanced weaponry. The team flees, tumbling off a cliff into a river. A drone watches them, relaying their position. In another part of the jungle, two more predators stand in the shadows, preparing for the next phase of the hunt. The survivors, soaked and bruised, find brief shelter inside a dark cave. Isabel, furious, punches Royce. "You used us as bait," she says through clenched teeth. Royce doesn't deny it. "Now we know who's hunting us," he replies coldly. "We needed that intel." Tensions rise as Royce confronts Isabel again. He noticed her earlier reaction to the chained predator. She finally admits she knows the story. Years ago, in 1987, something similar happened in Guatemala. A special forces team was decimated by an alien creature. Only one man survived. That tale wasn't fiction. It was classified military history. Royce forms a new plan. He wants to lure the predators into a trap, force them into a bottleneck where their technological advantage can be neutralized. The others agree. They spread out, ready their weapons, and set traps in the jungle. Isabel spots movement through her scope, but no attacks follow. Royce grows suspicious. He realizes the predators might already know about their tactics. So they switch plans. Edwin becomes the bait. He runs through the forest, drawing attention. A figure chases them, and Isabel takes a perfect shot. But when they check the body, it's not a predator. It's just another human, a victim like them. Worse still, Isabel missed. The shot she fired embedded into a nearby tree. That means the figure who was chasing them is still out there. Suddenly, a voice echoes through the trees. A figure emerges from the shadows, using a cloaking device similar to the predators. But he's not alien, he's human. His name is Noland. He warns them to keep quiet. "You're too loud. They'll hear you." He guides them back to his hideout, an old, dilapidated spaceship embedded in the jungle. Noland reveals his story. He was a soldier, dropped here 10 hunting seasons ago. Everyone else from his group died. He survived by scavenging, hiding, and talking to an imaginary friend to maintain his sanity. The group finally learns more about the enemy. According to Noland, there are two types of predators, smaller ones like the one they saw chained, and the larger super predators currently hunting them. These bigger variants are faster, stronger, and constantly testing new weapons and tactics on prey brought to this alien planet. Royce listens intently. If the predators return each season, there must be a ship. And maybe, just maybe, the captured predator could help them escape. Royce voices this theory. The enemy of my enemy could fly us home. As night falls, the group settles down. Nikolai shares a photo of his kids. Stans tells a disturbing story about his sister, and Hanzo, silent till now, picks up a samurai sword. Edwin is surprised to hear him speak English. Hanzo explains he was punished by the Yakuza for talking too much. His fingers were cut off. Isabel and Royce talk privately. She thinks they're here not because they're victims, but because they're predators themselves. Killers, monsters chosen because they'd give the hunters a challenge. Royce doesn't argue. But he remains obsessed with one thing, finding the ship. Suddenly, smoke begins to fill the ship's corridors. Something is wrong. Noland is gone. The doors are blocked from outside. Edwin panics. He's going to kill us. Noland, it turns out, intends to trap and suffocate them so he can steal their supplies. As the group struggles to breathe, Royce improvises. He creates a makeshift explosive and blows a hole, not to escape, but to make noise. And it works. One of the predators hears the explosion and arrives at the ship. Noland tries to escape, but the predator confronts him. With no hesitation, the alien kills Noland in a blaze of plasma fire. Meanwhile, the group is still trapped inside. The predator toys with them by opening a small panel in the wall, but doesn't attack. Royce fires a flare gun through the gap. The predator is gone. Using the distraction, they force open the door and flee into the dark corridors. During the chaos, Edwin becomes separated. He yells for help and lights a flare, but it also alerts the predator. Just before the alien strikes, Nikolai appears and attacks. He tells Edwin to run. Nikolai fights valiantly, but is no match for the creature. The predator impales him with its wrist blade and lifts him off the ground. Nikolai, defiant to the end, spits blood on the predator's face and activates a grenade. The explosion rips through the hallway, killing them both. The ship shudders from the shockwave, but the remaining group escapes in time. Outside, Stan celebrates their small victory, until a new predator uncloaks and knocks him down. Royce steps in, but before the creature can kill him, Stan lunges at it, stabbing it repeatedly. The predator, enraged, picks him up and rips out his spine. The alien roars into the jungle, and the third, deadliest predator hears the call. Hanzo hears it too. Calmly, he tells Isabel and Edwin to keep going. He stays behind,